Hello Internet, Dominic here, and today I thought we'd do something fun and take a look at some of my dream casting choices for Game of Thrones, featuring the A Song of Ice and Fire book characters that were unfortunately cut from the show. Now, I don't know if any of these characters are going to be cast in the upcoming seasons, but seeing as the show's narrative is approaching its conclusion, I find it unlikely that we'll ever see these excellent book characters make an appearance. But we can dream, damn it. If you only watch Game of Thrones and aren't familiar with these characters from the books, then feel free to check out my Spotlight playlist on the channel, where I give you an in-depth biography on most of the characters featured on this list. Oh, and obviously spoilers ahead. Anyway, let's get started. First up, we have Arianne Martell, heiress to Dorne, daughter of Prince Doran Martell, and niece to Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. In the book, she is described as having olive skin, large dark eyes, and long thick black hair that falls in ringlets. She is said to have full lips, large breasts, and basically oozes sexuality. But this is only one side to her character. Arianne is also fierce, intelligent, and ambitious. For me, her omission from the show is perhaps the biggest disappointment, especially considering the crappy Dorne stuff that we did get. But saltiness aside, if I was going to cast Arianne, I'd have to go with none other than actress Francia Raisa. Now, Francia is of Honduran and Mexican descent, which would be a perfect fit for a Dornish princess. She is also staggeringly gorgeous and looks near enough identical to how Arianne is described in the books. She's probably best known for playing the character of Adrienne Lee from The Secret Life of the American Teenager, which I believe was a Disney Channel series, so obviously Game of Thrones would be a huge step up, but considering there are a lot of Game of Thrones actors who used to be on Hollyoaks, I think it would be fair to give her a chance. Next up, we have Victarion Greyjoy. Now, Victarion is the Greyjoy uncle that the show decided to omit, probably because he isn't as exciting as his pirate brother Euron. But considering just how meh Euron's TV show counterpart turned out to be, maybe we could have done with his brutish younger brother. Now, Victarion is described as being a large and powerful man with a bull's broad chest and a boy's flat stomach, which is a weird description, but I think most importantly here would be an actor that could convey the dour sense of menace and duty that Victarion exudes. For this one, I'd have to go with British actor and performance capture pioneer Andy Serkis. Now, yes, he's best known for wearing skin-tight bodysuits, strapping a load of ping pong balls to himself and then rolling around on the floor making monkey noises, but when he does actually act as himself, he shows a fantastic amount of range, and I think he would be the ideal choice to bring Victarion to life. Up next is Sir Garland Tyrell. Now, Garland is the elder brother to Loras Tyrell and was cut from the show despite being a fan favourite. Garland is a rare breed in Westeros because he seems to be a genuinely good guy and actually lives up to the mantle of a chivalrous knight. He's also one of the best swordsmen in Westeros. He's described as being similar in appearance to his younger, more famous brother Loras, but taller, more broadly built, and with a beard. For Garland, I'd like to go with actor Lee Pace. He's certainly got the acting chops, and he just looks like the kind of guy that pulls out chairs and holds open doors for ladies. He can also easily pass as Sir Loras and Marjorie's elder brother, and we've seen his fantasy credentials already in Peter Jackson's The Hobbit series. Next is Ashara Dane, sister to the Sword of the Morning, Sir Arthur Dane, perhaps the greatest swordsman in the history of Westeros. Now, Ashara is actually dead before the events of the book and show, having committed suicide, but her presence is ever felt throughout the novels, primarily as the chief suspect for Jon Snow's mother. She is described as being almost impossibly beautiful, with long dark hair that tumbled down onto her shoulders and having haunting purple eyes. Many Westerosi men have displayed infatuation with her, including Kingsguard member Sir Barristan Selmy. When casting Ashara, I'd have to go with Australian actress Phoebe Tonkin. Like most Australians, the woman is almost sickeningly attractive, and she has a mysterious quality about her that lends itself well to the mystique that surrounds Ashara. Up next is another huge character omission from the show. It's none other than young Griff, also known as Aegon, the secretly surviving son of Rhaegar Targaryen. Now, although Aegon wears a disguise to hide his true identity when out in the world, he does have the purple eyes of a Targaryen, and even with his dyed blue hair, is thought to resemble his father Rhaegar. Aegon is young and entitled and has been groomed for kingship. He would need to display both arrogance and vulnerability, and for this, I would go with none other than Quicksilver himself, Evan Peters. Peters is likeable, good looking, and a fantastic actor. Although he would have the everyman appeal, there is also a sullenness to many of his performances that I think would bode well for Aegon. And of course you can't have young Griff without Griff, so let's take a look at Jon Connington. Jon Connington was a good friend to Rhaegar Targaryen and the former head of House Connington. He was exiled by Robert Baratheon and in exile has basically helped to raise young Aegon, preparing him to retake the throne. He is described as having been a redhead in his youth, but now that he is older his hair is grey with red roots and eyebrows. He has a worn face with crow's feet in the corner of his pale blue eyes and is now clean shaven. For Jon Connington I'm going to go with Homeland actor Damian Lewis. Lewis is likeable yet intense and has shown that he has the acting chops needed to portray Jon Connington's sense of regret and uncertainty. For me, there's no other choice. Next up is Strong Belwas, Daenerys Targaryen's stalwart defender and bodyguard, and for Belwas I'd have to go with former sumo wrestler turned actor Taylor Wiley. For those of you who know the character, I really don't have to explain much here. Belwas is described as having nut brown skin, a gleaming bald head, a huge chest, a massive belly and the smooth cheeks of a eunuch. Taylor fits the bill in every respect here. Belwas is a fan favourite and Taylor has the likability to bring the character to life and the physicality to dominate whomever he's acting opposite. And lastly, I'm going to look at Stannis Baratheon's creepy court jester, Patchface. Now, Patchface suffered an accident that left him mentally impaired. He now seemingly can only talk gibberish, but when studied closely, his nonsense rhymes seem to be prophetic in nature and may predict many events that happen in the books. Even Melisandre fears that he is a lot more dangerous than he seems. Patchface is described as being large, with a bald head and a tattooed face marked in a motley pattern of green and red squares. In casting him, I'd have to go with Little Britain actor Matt Lucas, who I think would be perfect for the role. Lucas has the physical stature and charm that would allow us to empathise with his plight a little, something that would be absolutely necessary to keep Patchface from coming across as all too creepy. And that's it for my look at dream casting choices for the book characters that were unfortunately omitted from the TV show Game of Thrones. Let me know what you guys think down below, and if you disagree let me know who you choose instead, as I'm always open to suggestions. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to hit that like button down below as it really does help the channel out, and please subscribe for more videos like this. I have a lot more A Song of Ice and Fire content on the channel, as well as a bunch of other stuff that you might like, so why not give it a peruse. Anyway, thanks again for watching and I'll see you again soon. Bye.